Yesterday, the National Unity Platform Secretary General David Louis Rubongoya wrote to IPOD officially expressing interest in joining the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, IPOD. This marked a shift from NUP's earlier reluctance to be part of the platform.
Whereas NUP for a very long time made it very clear that we would not join IPOD. We gave reasons why. We said, first of all, you cannot force someone into dialogue. Number two, we made it clear that IPOD was not a registered entity. It was just a company limited by guarantee. It was not a government body. It was not a government agency at the time. Number three, we talked about the human rights violations and abductions and all these things that have been happening to NUP. And we said, how can you be calling us to meetings just to take photos and all that, when you clearly know that IPOD has not achieved its objectives?
IPOD is a forum where political parties with representation in parliament come together to discuss key national issues and promote dialogue across political divides. NUP's decision to join IPOD comes just weeks after the party went to the High Court seeking help in a case involving political funding. The party accused the government of unfairly excluding it from receiving statutory funding meant for political parties.
Because we refused to join IPOD, the regime went to Parliament and in the most irregular way brought an amendment to the Political Parties and Organizations Act to make it mandatory, to force all political parties into IPOD. How? All political parties in Parliament into IPOD. Now, as you all know, NUP is in the National Consultative Forum. In fact, our National Treasurer, Comrade Katana Benjamin, is a Deputy Chairperson of NCF. Before then, it was the late Mama Jole Mujisha, who was the Vice Chairperson of that organization called National Consultative Forum. What these people did was to transform IPOD and make it a department under the National Consultative Forum. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, that now the political parties were conscripted into joining IPOD for those parties which have members of parliament, and those which do not have, they are now in an organization called the Forum for Non-Represented Political Parties.
This followed a directive from the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, in August, instructing the Electoral Commission to only release funds to 6 other parties represented in Parliament, leaving out NUP.
Political parties were conscripted into joining IPOD for those parties which have members of Parliament, and those which do not have, they are now in an organization called the Forum for Non-Represented Political Parties. Anyone could see that this law was brought in bad faith. You remember that, first of all, they wanted Basarilwa to bring it, Honorable Asman Basarilwa, he did not bring it. Then they jumped on someone called Faith Nakut, I think from Karamoja, who did not even have an idea what that law was saying.
IPOD has confirmed receipt of the NUP letter and are happy about NUP's decision, arguing that it is a result of informed thinking.
We've been having engagements. There's a lot of shadow diplomacy that has and still is taking place with the National Unity Platform, and so I want to believe that by the time they got to that decision, it was well thought through, and probably they are looking at the future.
However, joining the platform is not instant and NUP still has to complete several internal processes before the agreement is official.
Signing the MOU is probably at the tail end of the process of admission into IPOD. There are other processes that have got to take place, and we are going to communicate to the National Unity Platform quite soon, to let them know of those processes.
Rubongoya said the decision to join IPOD is not just about the money. According to the Secretary General, making IPOD membership a condition for receiving government funding is unfair and appears to be a deliberate attempt to frustrate the party. Lydia Felly Akullu, NTV Tonight. Sawa selected Devi abampereka t-shirt just akaliko baganda bafe ba political prisoners. Just council